Hello everybody, it is Kulipup here again, and I'm making this video today just to talk more about food. One of my very beautiful students there has asked me, or has said, I've cut out the meat and I'm feeling great. What else do I need to cut out to raise my frequency and raise my vibration? So I'm gonna go through a list of things that I do eat and the things I definitely don't eat or consume or put on my body. Now, this is going to be just a simple guideline for you because you have to really remember that all of our bodies are different. What works for me may not work for you. However, as long as you're cutting out the meat, just know that you're good, okay? And you can kind of listen to your body and see what works from that point onwards. Because once you cut out the meat and you've been off the meat for at least 30 days, you'll find that your body is going to start to change. Okay, some things that you ate before may start to really disgust you or make you feel really sick. And that's your body's way of saying, hey, don't eat that. Don't eat it. Your taste buds may open up to a bunch of new foods. You may start craving like things that you never craved before. Like you may be like, wow, I really want some broccoli. And it's because your body needs broccoli. So basically, this is more of guidelines. You don't have to follow this as long as you have taken out the meat. That's step one, that's done. So this is just, you can follow it. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, then leave it. Take what you can out of it, leave what you don't. Like what you don't want out of it. So bear that in mind. So now you may ask me, Kulipa, what are you? When we're stopping eating meat, there's this, do I go vegan or do I go vegetarian? What happens? Because a lot of people think like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go straight to veganism. And which is, hey, if you can do it and you have that kind of ironclad willpower, then awesome. However, if you're not, like, if you're just like, no, I like cheese, then have a little bit of cheese, okay? There's no hard and fast rule. You do not have to categorize yourself, okay? Stop categorizing yourselves. Just eat food. Just eat what makes you happy. Eat what your body requires and eat for your health, right? Don't eat for a label. Just don't be like, oh, I'm vegan, so I can't have this or that or that. No, if you want it, have it, just as long as it's not the meat, right? So, firstly, I'm going to go through the things that I don't have or that I don't eat. Now, and this is assuming I don't eat anything that had a heartbeat. Before it came onto my plate, no animal flesh whatsoever touches my vessel because, for one, I find it absolutely, utterly disgusting. Whenever I see meat, it's just like, ugh. All I see is dead flesh, and it's so repulsive to me. Like, even when I'm walking down the through the meat section in the grocery aisle, because I got to go through the meats to get to the dairy, to get to my soy milk and stuff. It just sends chills down my, because I'm just like, it's just all dead. It's just all dead, rotting. Ugh. Anyway, so again, we're assuming that we've cut out all meat. So the first thing that on my list here is I don't consume any alcohol or poisons, okay? So you may be like, or poisons, just meaning like I don't consume anything that is considered a poison, okay? Alcohol is a poison. Right? I don't have it. I used to, don't get me wrong, before I woke up, I was more of a casual drinker, or I'd have like one of those little Summer Beast apple ciders, just like a little alky pop or something like that with my dinner every now and then. And what I found was as soon as I stopped eating the meat, I became so sick. For one, if even a sip of alcohol would make my head just pulsate and super headaches. And I would just feel nauseous and gross. And it was because my body was finally clean and functioning. So when I put poison in it, I felt it immediately. So I definitely you don't want alcohol as well, because there's a reason why they call it spirits, because it does attract to you negative entities. Okay? Spirits. Negative, and well, people would call them spirits. I don't call them spirits, because if you're of a spirit, you are of light and love, and you are of me. And You're not going to attract negative spirits, but you will attract negative entities and negative energy if you do drink alcohol. It opens you up. It opens you up for the attraction, right? So cut out that stuff as soon as you can, or anything that is considered a poison. So if you are, drugs like methamphetamines, like LSD, these kinds of things are all poisons. Okay, so you don't want to take any of those. Next thing that I don't consume or put on my body is toxic or harmful chemicals. So I change up a lot. I make a lot of my own things. For example, I make my own toothpaste, and I have these lovely white jumpers because I don't like the chemicals that they put in toothpaste. That is going directly into my mouth, that is being absorbed, whether I spit it out or not, but it's being absorbed into my bloodstream and into myself. So I decided to make my own toothpaste, for example. So what I do is I use coconut oil, bentonite clay, baking soda, and some peppermint oil. And what I love about it is that the coconut oil and the bentonite clay literally absorb all the bacteria that is within my mouth, within my teeth. It keeps my mouth, my oral hygiene very, very healthy because all the bacteria is pulled out by the clay and by the oil. And then I have my abrasion with the baking soda in there, and of course the nice minty freshness of the peppermint oil. And I can tell you this, my children, myself, and my husband, we do not need to go to the dentist, to put it that way. Like we're all got our lovely white smiles. But that's something there, or harmful chemicals. I don't have a lot of processed food. Okay, I don't eat a lot of things that come out of a package. I make a lot of things myself. I buy the whole food and I just make it. It doesn't make me sick because harmful chemicals, again, my body reacts just the same way it does to a poison. So I cut out any toxic or harmful chemicals. I read the labels on everything. Absolutely everything. I check that label and I see what's in it. And you'll be amazed at how much crap there is, cereals, this and that, like absolutely anything you have has so much chemical in it, and I tend to stay away from that and be as basic as I can. Again, staying away from processed foods. Yep. Even when it comes to breads and so forth, I tend to purchase the bread that is either baked fresh in the store or from a very, very good bread company that, has whole grains and, and doesn't have a lot of preservatives in their food. And it's for the same reason that I don't have the alcohol or the harmful chemicals, really. Because processed food is just full of chemicals and it really, really makes me sick. So I cut out all processed foods. Fast food. I don't eat any fast food. You will not catch me at McDonald's. You will not catch me at KFC. You will not catch me at A&W or any of these fast food joints. You will not catch me at. And it is because it is, for one, we all know it's really unhealthy. But two, any food that bacteria doesn't want to eat, I definitely don't want to eat. Or if it's food that bacteria cannot eat because it has so much chemical preservative in it, then I am not going to eat it. Okay, so I don't care if they've got vegetarian options, if they've got salads, even the lettuce that they use. You think it's just lettuce, it must be healthy. But that lettuce was grown GMO chemicals and everything. And it's just full of disgusting crap. And it makes me sick. So I don't have it. I don't have any fast food whatsoever. I don't even care if it's fries. I don't care if it's an ice cream. I don't care, like I said, if it is just a salad, I don't eat it. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times when there is like, if I'm traveling, for example, and I don't have any food, we're right on the road and, the highway, and like we've got another few hours to go and I'm starving, and if I do need something to eat, if I have to, I will. But again, if it's fast food, I will get some fries, or I will get, over here, I'm in Canada, so a poutine, fries and gravy, with a split. Sometimes I have the cheese, sometimes I don't. But anyway, that's about as far as it goes if I'm in a dire situation, because I was too silly to plan ahead, or I thought I could make it or something like that. But generally, I stay away from fast food. Don't touch it. No, tell a lie. I do order pizza sometimes. That's usually about once or twice a month I will order some pizza. Cheese pizza, or or a vegetable or vegetarian pizza. The next thing I don't do is I don't have any direct dairy products. Now, I do eat some cheese, though. I do eat cheese every now and then, and I pay for it. I do. I know that if I eat some cheese, my stomach is going to be in bits and it is going to turn. So this is one of those days I'm like, skirt, I just want some pizza. And I'll have a couple slices of pizza. And I know that come the morning, it's not a pretty sight. It's not fun. However, I make the calculated sacrifice knowing that I'm not going to have fun the next morning. That's why I don't have it very often. But other than that, I do cut out all dairy, direct dairy. So when I say direct dairy, I mean that I don't physically drink milk, whether that be in my coffee or in my tea. I don't get actual milk directly. I don't eat eggs directly. I definitely don't have eggs and just like, ooh, eggs and toast. I don't have eggs. Yogurts and other milk products I don't have directly. So now what do I mean by, well, I have them indirectly. So meaning if I pick up a cookie and it has used milk and eggs in it to produce this chocolate chip cookie, I'm going to eat that damn cookie because I like cookies. Because I enjoy food too, right? So indirectly, I will eat things. If it's mixed up into an ingredient or because it's making something else, I will eat it then. But I'm not going to eat the actual substance directly. Because I can only process dairy products if it is in like a cookie. Because it's not, although it has the lactose in it, it doesn't affect me as much as if I had it directly. Anyway, right? Cheese, though, that freaking affects me directly. The last thing I do is I don't have any supplements. And I used to have supplements because I used to go to the gym and used to do all this kind of stuff. And I would have my protein supplements. I would have, multivitamin pills. I would have all of these kinds of things. But as I awoke and as my frequency raised, these energy shakes, I found that they were packing too much protein than what my body actually needed, because I was still living the false lie when I was asleep that I needed protein for my body to build muscle and to become healthy. So I was packing in these supplements, and as soon as my vibration increased, I find that it just made me vibrate lower. Okay, it stopped me from really vibrating at my full potential. So, because again, it was heavy, so I cut out the energy shakes. The supplement, the pills that I thought I was like, oh, I need extra vitamins, I need extra nutrition, cut them out. Because they were causing an imbalance within me. Because again, when we are using these pills that we think, oh, we're going to get vitamins from it, we have to understand that there's a lot of other crap that they put in it. It could be an artificial vitamin. Because you could be like, oh, I'm going to go get some vitamin E pills. And you're thinking you're getting the full vitamin? Well, no, you're only getting a synthetic version of the vitamin E. There are so many different components that you get within vitamin E that you get from the natural, like an avocado, right? It'll have this complex, that complex of vitamin E, and all of it comes together to produce a healthy vitamin. But if you're getting the supplement in pill form, you're missing out on so much. Or you're targeting only one specific area and so forth. And it's ridiculous. So I stopped having pills because, again, they were messing with my system. That also goes into medication. Now, when it comes to yourself and medication, this is something you will have to judge for yourself. If you feel like you need the medication, take the medication. If you feel like you don't need it, that's up to you. Don't take it then. But again, normally you'd have people be like, consult your doctor and so forth. I don't trust doctors whatsoever. They have been trained. How many doctors have earned their degree through through teaching at a college or a hospital, a medical, a university hospital, for example. And so many don't know about nutrition because they're not taught about nutrition. They're only taught about what drug does what, right? And that's why we have so many people on drugs and on medications, because that's what is taught. So I don't go to doctors. I don't, not to say that all doctors are bad people or any, not saying that at all. I'm just saying personally, I don't need them because I keep my body healthy. Now, if I were to walk and break my leg, then I would need to go to a doctor, of course, to get that mended, because if I have a bone shooting out my leg, I can't do nothing with it. However, I know I'm never going to break my leg because I've got my spirit and I just switched timelines, and so I'm going to stay healthy anyway. But anywho, medications, I don't have any medications, and the reason why I don't take any medications, so before I I would take an ibuprofen or like a Tylenol or paracetamol. If you're in the UK, that's our Tylenol or ibuprofens kind of thing. So I would take those if I had a headache or if my body was feeling unwell. I would have my inhaler there. I would take allergy pills to help me with my allergies. Like, I would take a decent amount of medication. I don't do none of that anymore. Absolutely none of it. And it's because my body is repairing itself. As long as I put the right foods in and as long as I don't put these foods in, I feel great. So I don't need those medications. Don't need them whatsoever. So again, that's just me. You have to consult yourself and see how you feel. Okay, so those are the definite things I don't have. So if you find that you have foods or things that fall under these categories, you may want to see how you feel. All right. Now let's go on to the things I do have, though. I have a lot of sativa cannabis. Now you may think like, what? Kulipup has cannabis? Of course I do. And you know why? It is because it is the one plant that has been put on this earth and that is a one-stop shop to complete your balance, your health. It has been demonized. It is a plant that has been dragged through from the government. It has been propagated against because they say that it makes you loopy. Well, it's all complete lies. The reason why people or the government or whatnot does not want you to have cannabis, especially sativa cannabis, not indica, what they pump out a lot, but sativa, which is meant to be had in the day, is because it literally helps you balance out your energy. You have cannabinoids that are within your system naturally, right? And these, again, the chemicals that are within this plant are within you naturally, but just in small doses. So when you have more cannabis, it doesn't matter whether you are having it, if you are smoking it, if you are vaporizing it, if you are eating the leaves in a salad, the entire plant helps to balance out your system, boost your immunity, your immune system. And it is a wonderful plant for optimum health. Okay, so if you're not feeling very balanced, if you're feeling like your emotions are swaying here, there, and everywhere, if you're just feeling generally low, get some bloody sativa cannabis. As long as you're not having it with alcohol or cigarettes, by the way, which is a poison at the same time, you don't want to have it with anything else. You just want to have it as it is. And you will find that you will say, like so many people, I don't know how I would live without it. Because it is such a miraculously beautiful plant. Again, you don't even need to be high. You don't need to get high at all. And don't abuse it. If you are taking this root, don't abuse it. Okay? It is a medicinal herb, just like any other medicine that is out there. If you take too much, don't get me wrong, there's no negative side effects besides you feeling like sick. But that'll pass. Nothing wrong will happen to your body. But if you abuse it, it's just like if you abuse anything. If you have too many oranges, your system's not gonna it's not gonna work out for you. If you have too much cannabis, if you smoke it on the regular to try to bypass or suppress your issues, you will find that you will just, all you'll do is you just have a really, really increased tolerance, and you'll feel good, but you'll be more dependent on it. And you don't want to be dependent, you just want to have it to help you during your day. If you're stressed out, it kind of just relaxes you a little bit, and you're kind of cool. You can think a little bit more clearly as well. So anyway, I have a lot of sativa cannabis. And by the way, if you are a gym person, it is wonderful. You have, for me, I would have about 3 puffs on a spliff before I'd go to the gym, or before I'm doing yoga, or before I'm working out, and it gets you into the zone. It is absolutely a miraculous way to help shape your body. Okay, really, really on it, like really, really awesome. And if you're just like, oh, but what about your lungs and so forth? It's not good to smoke it or vaporize it. I was a super asthmatic. I can breathe now. Okay, I can breathe now. It actually helps you out in terms of your lungs. So some people may disagree with me on that one. I don't really give a rat's ass, to be honest with you. Try it first before you make a judgment on it. Okay. I have a lot of sunlight grown foods. So I eat a lot of foods that were grown above ground. Okay, they pack a lot of, and pack a lot of light energy. They're easy for me to process and get through. And they don't pack a lot of super dense minerals, because again, with my frequency being so high, minerals and metals interfere with my frequency. So if I have too many minerals in there, it doesn't work out very well. So I tend to eat everything that is grown above ground. So it does have minerals, but just not packed so much as the root vegetables. And again, I have that as my next one, reduced root vegetables. Anything grown below ground is getting secondary energy from their leaves at the top, right? So they take longer to grow, so they are packing and absorbing so much minerals from the ground. And so, not to say I don't eat them, I do. I have potatoes, I have carrots, those kinds of things grown. Garlic, I eat a lot of garlic and onions and so forth. But that's about it. I don't have like phenomenal amounts of root vegetables because again, I don't want the interference. Copious amounts of water. I primarily drink a lot of water during the day. I need at least 100 ounces of water every day to keep myself hydrated. Yeah, I pee all the time, but who doesn't when they have this much water? But I have that much water because it helps me vibrate. Okay? The ripples of the vibrations of the frequencies, when I am full of water, I can feel them so much better than if I'm empty. Okay? Because feeling vibrations through the water versus feeling vibrations through air or other stuff, guts and food, they interfere with the vibration. So I drink lots and lots of water to keep myself hydrated and to keep my frequency and my vibrations strong. Cookies and cake. I have cookies and cake. And the reason why I have cookies and cake on here is because I simply enjoy eating them. I don't have a lot of food. I only eat about 2 meals a day, and they're baby size meals. And it is just because, and wasn't before, before I would eat regularly three meals a day, but it's just because I've raised frequency. I live more so on my own energy that I produce. My body doesn't require a lot of food for sustenance or for energy. My cells don't need a lot of food for energy because I already have and contain a lot of energy. So I just basically eat small amounts just to, like if you've got the hunger pangs or something like that, just to kind of get rid of some hunger pangs. But I only need it about twice a day. Okay, I have a little bit in the morning and I have a little bit like in the later afternoon, and my body works just fine. If you need more, please eat. You eat until you're not hungry. Okay, so if I only eat twice a day, but if you eat 6 times a day, but that's what your body requires, that's what you should do. Okay, so just please bear that in mind. All right. I like cookies and I like cake. So every now and then I'll have a biscuit, or I'll bake a cake and I'll have a slice of cake because I enjoy it. It makes me happy. It makes me happy to have some cannabis, spend time with my husband where we laugh and we have a philosophical conversation, and we have that, and we have a cup of tea and some cookies, and it's wonderful. So I do this because I enjoy it in small amounts. And lastly, tea and coffee. Yep, I have a cup of coffee every single day. I have about 2 cups of tea every single day as well. Tea and coffee are perfectly fine. Now, I only have 1 cup of coffee though, because again, the high amounts of caffeine are, you don't want to go overboard on that, because you will start to feel like, woo, the coffee jitters. So I do limit that to only 1 cup a day. You can choose what you like as well. But that is genuinely what I do. If you don't see anything on this list, it means that I'm open to it. That's it. If it's not toxic, it's not full of chemicals, it's not fast food that has so much preservatives in it, if it's not processed, if it doesn't have a lot of dairy in it, and if it doesn't have like chemical supplements and so forth that are in it, then I'm free to eat whatever the hell I want. Right? I eat for enjoyment, and I eat just to get it out. So anyway, this is like, I really expected this to only be like 10 minutes, but we're now at just over 25 minutes. So that is it from me. I hope this video helps. And yeah, happy eating, and well done. Well done for getting over the meat addiction and for moving forward. All right, love you guys. Bye.